Welcome back to Afternoon Garage. I got a lot of work done this last week. Plated all these bolts up there, have them kind of drying a little bit. They were a little tacky, and so I was just going to let them sit here for a week, and I'm kind of glad I did because I think the chromate kind of hardened up a little bit. So now we can get started, pull these damn things down, and get them installed. So first we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this control arm, and we're going to push the bushings on, get the ball joint on. Then there's a sway bar bushing. It's kind of going to be a little bit difficult to get on, I imagine. And then, of course, we're putting tie rods in. And I think I'm going to start with the tie rods first. I was going to originally kind of fit this all up in here and then do the tie rods last, but I think I have really good access to do the tie rods now. Let's start with these, and I'll show you what the old ones look like and how I got them off and how to get the new ones in. Alright, time for tie rods. So it has those really crappy, 911 type tie rods. These are actually from a 930 style where it has kind of a ball pivot in one end. The others are kind of offset, and they kind of, you'd think they would bind a little bit, but anyway, we're going to change to this style here. These are basically the tools I need, but first we need to take the car apart. So you get a little awl or something like that that's bent on the end and get it up underneath there and pull those. They're little spring retainers, kind of like you'd have in a, like a oil seal or something like that. Pull it off of both ends. Then slip the boot off. Now this tie rod is kind of bent to the side a little bit, so what it has is it has a lock behind it. So what you want to do is take a punch and a hammer and get inside of there, and you'll see some notches. And just hit it a few times. You'll kind of break that loose. Then you can spin the whole tie rod out, easy as pie. Don't think about bending the tie rod down and trying to twist it, because you really need to release that lock or it's not going to come out very easily. Alright, what I was going to do is I was going to actually put these on right now because, there's no cross brace in there, and I thought that would be a good idea, while I have good access. But then I thought about that steering rack being bolted to this right here, and I thought maybe I should bolt this in. But you know what? I think there's kind of a D shape to the piston in there, and I think what I'm going to do is take something like this. I know this isn't the correct tool for it, but I think it's going to work pretty good. I think this is actually for plumbing or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, you can see that's going to fit pretty good, because there's a washer that goes on top of this, and this limits the travel, and you can see that that's going to fit in there and probably tighten up real well. And then that goes on the rack itself, so you'll be able to have 2 wrenches on it. So I think I'm going to do it right now rather than bolt this thing in. Probably be a good idea. I've seen a lot of people do that, but another thing you want to do is get yourself some blue Loctite, 242, and you want to put it on the end here. And unlike the other ones, the other tie rods, it doesn't really matter what orientation you have them in. Just get it tightened on there. So here's the old tie rods that I took out. You can see the angle on there. It's quite different than these. So I'm probably going to have to bend this a little bit to, but this is a ball socket, so it's going to work pretty good. And another thing you want to do is just take each side and kind of bend this to the side and kind of closely eye them and get them the correct length from one side to another. Of course, everybody remembered what side you took off what side and everything. Now it's easy for me to tell what tie rod came off of what side so I can measure the length, because it had 2 different types of lock nuts on the end of the ball socket here. This one had a castellated nut, and I know this was on the driver's side. And this was kind of more of a knurled lock nut. This was on the passenger side. So it'll be easy for me to figure out, set the correct length on these ones and match them here. was just getting ready to throw these in, and well, I noticed that there's actually a left and a right to this. You can see how this is kind of tapered. It's larger at one end than it is on the other, so I once again went back to my video where I used all that heat to take these parts off. And as it was rotating, I could see that I had swapped them, so I had the right on the left and the left on the right. So no big deal, I just kind of rocked it back out again. You know, it's got that silicone grease in there, so it came off kind of easy. And we'll just swap those around, but that's something to look for. Huh. Never expected that.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Alright, it's on. So, boy, that took a lot of work. So just make sure you get the sway bar oriented correctly. And I think in hindsight it would have been better to just use the lift how I got the thing in and load the lift down and pick it up. And that's okay. It's done now. That was the easiest thing to do. Get it back together. Right now, if you watched my first video on this, I told you before I took it apart that it was really important to get the correct angle on the control arms before you put the adjusters in. So I'm just about getting ready to put the struts in, and really it's going to kind of lock that whole thing up. So what you want to do is kind of just have them hanging there. We'll go back, put this on there, see where it's at. And that looks like about 29, almost 30 degrees to me. So let's go back and look at the video from where it was before. Something like, what, 21 degrees there. And we'll go over to the other side. It's like about 22, 23. So there's sway bars on both sides, but it shouldn't be too hard to just kind of lift this up where it needs to be. And we're about 30 degrees over here too, so. All right. So it's either that or something like that. As I said before, these are so easy to clock, you just take them off and put them wherever you want them. So I think for the sake of this, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to get a little more height on it. I think I'm going to do this right there. So we'll put in the adjuster screw. All right, there we go. One thing you want to make sure, put some Loctite on this when you're all done. But it feels pretty good. Now the struts are ready to go back in. You can see I got all the nice plated hardware. Everything turned out really good. Got the new bolts for the ball joint down at the bottom here. And one thing that I did when I started is I put plugs in all these holes, so I don't really need to chase them and get the paint out of them or anything like that. I really kind of like that. Even in the bottom where the ball joint goes up inside, well, I plugged that too, so I'm not going to have a problem. One thing to check is, I'm going to check for any scoring around this area here, because this area is where the seal will ride on both of these. So kind of just take the seal and you kind of see where it'll be connecting down in there, and actually kind of look at it and see if you see any scoring, and if you do, maybe a little bit of emery cloth on that. But hey, you know what? Pretty happy with it. These are ready to go back in. All right, that wasn't really too much work. You know, I got the control arms in, got that cross brace in, tie rods in. You know, I'm gonna have to do an alignment here pretty soon, but that's okay. But first I'm gonna have to get the wheels and tires on. And that leads me to my next thing. I want to maybe put some aftermarket wheels and tires on here. So I think what I'm gonna do is, well, you know, I've already purchased my wheels and I've made my choices, and basically I just need to make them fit. They're a different bolt pattern than what's on here, and also we need to adapt some, maybe get some correct offset going on. So hopefully the purchases that I made on my wheels, well, they're actually gonna fit on the car and I don't have to send them back. But we'll take measurements for that and find out how to do that next week. Kind of getting excited to get this thing on the ground and, you know, get the engine pulled out of the rear. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and, well, thanks for watching.